Okay, so this short Nyana clip is just to explain what I've understood to be Maweni's problems, the current problems. Well, we've been seeing these problems for a long time. I don't even think I should call it problems because it's what she does and it's what other traditional healers does. I just want to check. Let's look at this these small clippets and snippets from various sources, and then we'll come and discuss because it's important that we look at it holistically, not only herself. Let's just look at it, and then I'll come in and I'll come and unpack. Okay, thanks, Sharp.
Ngapha mnumzane. Ngiyanibingelela Mzansi.
Ngibingelela Mzansi.
Sinendoda la, qhela ndoda khona bezobona igama lakho la. Thula wena. Mzansi, kule ndoda le ibiza ngenyanga ukhokho vula. Yase Zimbabwe lenyanga sesiyibambile, idlala ngabantu, iqola abantu, ithi izobanika ingcebo. Ndoda uba namagama akaphelele.
Ngazwa ukhokho vula Kundabaloyi, Len Moton Ndebele.
Kundabaloyi.
Yeah.
Le ndoda ibiza ngokundabaloyi ukhokho vula. Ingiyase Zimbabwe. Mzansi sithanda ufunazise kule ndoda isigebengu kakhulu iganga ngabantu uyabarobha abantu la eSouth Africa. Sesibambile Mzansi fanele nazi ke Mzansi ukuthi le ndoda ayiyona inyanga fake. Awuyona inyanga uyini?
Fake.
Sizocela ke ndoda yamadoda uxolise kwi South Africa yonke naseziteshini zomsakazo wonke ngomkhuba esuyenzile uganga abantu.
Ngiyaxolisa kuMzansi wonke nakwisteshi zomsakazo zonke ngokuganga sengikwenzile ngabantu.
Nokuthatha imali zabantu.
Nokuthatha imali zabantu.
Ngithi ngizobasiza ngiganga ngabo.
Ngithi ngizobasiza ngiganga.
Lento ngiphethe unodoli.
Into ngiphethe unodoli.
Awusebenzi lutho lo nodoli.
Awusebenzi lutho lo nodoli.
Uxolisa ukudlala ngabantu.
Xolisa ukudlala ngabantu.
Ngiyaxolisa. Ngiyaxolisa kwi South Africa yonke.
Ngiyaxolisa kwi South Africa yonke.
Namhlanje sengibanjiwe.
Namhlanje sengibanjiwe.
Umhlaba ni date namhlanje ndoda. Awazi
10.
Mhla ka 10.
9.
Thani ngibanjiwe kumhla ka 10.
Mhla ka 10 ngibanjiwe mhla ka 10.
Ngibanjwe abantu abaziyo ukuthi akudlalwa ngabantu.
Banjwe abantu abaziyo ukuthi akudlalwa ngabantu.
Ngiyaxolisa ku president wase South Africa.
Ngiyaxolisa president wase South Africa.
Nakubo bonke abantu engabarobha.
Nakubo bonke abantu engabarobha.
Nasemsakazweni yonke engaqamba amanga kuyona ngathi ngenyanga.
Nemsakazweni yonke engaqamba amanga.
So namhlanje ngiyayeka lento yoganga abantu.
Namhlanje ngiyayeka lento yoganga.
Zisholo ke ukuthi so namhlanje wenze njani?
Namhlanje ngiyayeka lento yoganga.
Uyaxolisa.
Ngiyaxolisa.
Okay, siyabonga ke ndoda yamadoda ngoba usulikhulumile iqiniso.
Slow because you know what, I love very easily and I create happiness and I give and whatever else, but I also destroy very easily when I'm hurt. So I'm very vindictive, I'm malicious, and I pride myself in that. It was it's never going to be blunt. Uzomloy. Cha.
Okay. Du do have. Osane ma taudi angwana. Hape nna ke nna mogekolo. No mo. Aso. Ke nna wa 1975 ke na le 48 years.
Lena ke le ratang.
Ennang
Ka hore ba banyane go wena ba ka ima. Ka pe.
manane ke no mo. Okay, sai. Ke shetse ke fikhile monopause.
Yale.
Le bana ke banya ke ba lapisha. Ba lapisha bana ba. Koko. Ba lapisha.
Abe ba tla fela ba o tsosha o ro wa nyantse. Mola re busy.
Tshwara letswelo go le yang. Asaka wa tshwara letswelo. Ka nka pola tsang tshwara le tsoka. O go le tswelele ba sa lo tshwarane. O kwa go sanga.
Ke bose.
O kwa go so tshwara letswelo. Ta le tshwarisha ke ma. Ba ka so lo tshwarisha ta ba thokofala se tsho tshwara letswelo. Mamka o tshwere letswelo la mamogasho wa kwa. Le ba o kwa bya.
Le botsana.
O kwa go sanga. Aiptina.
le Botswana.
Oh, sana kamu kamu tumbeng yaka.
Ani mo dia o ntja photo,
O tšea photo.
video. Okay.
Ata e bona e raloka. O kweša o ska o fodiša ka wala. A o nyako fola.
Wena o kwa bjana e go tshwana.
Na ke sa kwa selwa ke na di-feeling. A ke re ke nna motho o mogolo. E tša nyanyilwe matswela a sa di a selo.
Okay.
Ke do ba ke di orana ka ona mara a sa na di-feeling. E a le mengwaga le go gola. Ke kweša wena gore o se ka taolela go tshwara matswela a basadi mo motho o tshwerang. Ngwanyana o mobotse.
Mamotla ke le tshwere.
O le tshwere. Ntse di o le tshwara. Ngwanyana o mobotse a le na selo.
Ke le tshwere.
Mare bašimanyana ba ka montle ka mo ke a gana. Ba le ba ka ntlhaišetša kotsi. Ke swariša wena ka re ka tswa gore ka sentisa.
Wena le Botswana.
Le Botswana. O gopola nako tšela tša gagwanka. O e se mošimanyana.
O no re ka gore a o ne rumo nka be ke o tshwara le ka mo.
O ka se ntshware ke nna mo.
Here's the problem that I see with not only herself but with other traditional healers, sangomas you may call it. So Maweni she's not the only one who does this. She's not the only one who is criticized. But like I've seen, I've shown you other people who also do things that are not what, if there's a code of ethics, maybe, because there isn't any code of ethics. I've discussed on this podcast that we do not have a Bible for traditional healers to say what is the code of ethics. We do not have an award ceremony in any of the awards. I don't know where we would get these awards where we are meant to check who's the best sangoma and what would be the traits of a good sangoma. I've tried to check with sources that I find. There's an organization, it's a commission, in fact. I think it's a Nationality institution in South Africa that looks at spiritual and religious bodies. So I think this is where we should be guided by this commission to say when Maweni does this, what law is she breaking? Because we don't have anything that is breaking. Because the reason I'm saying so is maybe Maweni needs to be protected. Protected from who? Protected from maybe other traditional healers who do what she does, but they chose to do it in closed quarters. Because what if what she's doing, because I've lamented on this podcast in many instances to say, what if the Sangoma way of doing things, it's essentially a secretive thing. Let me stop here and show you where other people who came here who were traditional healers at some point, who were told that should they stop, they are going to either go mad or crazy. Sharp.
The battle was for this book, because when that demon came, he said, if you dare publish this book, we're going to take your mind.
Oh, consistent with the other one that said, if you tell our secrets, you'll go mad.
Yeah. So I think they did not mind for me, or I left their what. Yeah. But for me to write these things, it was their problem. The warfare was about this book. Or no, you can't write about us.
So you almost didn't make it here. They almost killed you.
Sure. But what I like about
in the road, yes. That's how we do. Then she did that, and then I stood. I said, Coco, I'm no longer there. And she said to me, what do you mean? I just sang Cindy C. She shook her head and says, I was a philosopher.
She literally told you you're gonna die when you met on the road.
She wasn't the first person. They said to me, it doesn't work, you're gonna die. When was that? 2009.
You see that
I'm still alive.
You see that they are not my ancestors. That's a book that what we are watching there. It's called They Are Not My Ancestors.
Yes.
When he left his ancestors to come and join Jesus as his Lord and Savior, they told him he's going to die.
Yeah.
And they said they sent Tikoloshis to him.
Yeah.
But I just put a clip here where he says it. So, Lo and I were threatened with
told
death.
him he won't leave. You'll
So
die.
it brings back to that question that I said,
Witchcraft as well.
yes, of witchcraft.
So, to fear.
And when I said, why are the ancestors of African people always have this animosity against the people that they should be loving?
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
understand
you.
that part.
He-
I ask
there's
everyone.
a lady I led to Christ who lived in the same street. We suffered from the same thing from the years past. She followed me because she was tired. When she saw me, which it's working for me, this thing of salvation, she followed me because she was tired. She said, how can my mother, was it a mother or grandmother, passed away? And then the next thing now, she's bringing accidents around her life. When she said, this person used to love me, why would she do such a thing now?
Yes, this is.
She said, no, this person used
That's
to
exactly.
I know,
That's exactly why I want to
this
ask
doesn't
people.
make sense.
So your ancestor loves you, and then they say, if you should listen to Petmo's story. So he suffered a lot. He lost marriage. He had businesses. Things did not work well because he says he was told by these ancestors that the ancestors are showing him that. So if someone is going through hardships, it's ancestors. So why can't ancestors, if they love you, why can't they just do good of you?
Let me tell you the honest truth.
Yes.
Some of us that do it right, when I say right, I don't mean in the Bible form.
Yes.
I mean some of us will just go for good twasa purely. They do suffer.
Who suffers?
She told me,
These sangomas.
my spiritual mother back then, she
Yes.
told me, I think what it does is it calls you. I think this is a long process. She told me it's a long process. But when it begins to call you, on the first years, you begin to work. There's a lot of money coming, and then there's a time it stops. It wants you to upgrade, and then things will gonna go better again. The people that I see on YouTube and stuff who are rich, some of us, all of them, they have to do noktwala. It's not only what they forcing it to say they have to do noktwala. It's a different thing.
Please explain that. Explain.
In my time, uktwala was a disgrace with Zangoma. There was even a song that was used to song Entombeni when Sangomas meet, when one etwele. Because it used to be a disgrace, you know.
Oh, so
uktwala, it's when now they begin to put human sacrifices. There's a snake attached to this.
Oh, it explains everything.
A chamber where now this thing brings people.
Yes.
It brings things. But normally these things of Sangomas back in the past, it was to the ancestors only. Ancestors and the people and the meat. That is all it was.
So now
today now
so would you call Busangoma a negative and dark energy?
The whole of it.
Yes.
It was.
So it's not something that is nice.
It isn't.
So you see, as you can see, the problem is the institution, the privacy, what is it? What can I call it? The practice, this spirituality. It has no. I mean, the scale is wide. Everyone can become a traditional healer. We know of lots of prophets on TikTok. Many of them. I've invited many of them. Maybe I think this is the time where maybe I can just show you the screen grabs. I mean, the latest one that I've invited on the podcast to come, we agreed. He said he needed. We did not carry on, but as I said, I feel there's a lot of things that our Sangomas must understand. Number one, if you do not come to mediums where you speak, what you are inevitably doing, you are allowing the Maweni narrative to continue because she's out there, she's speaking. If you do not want it to dominate, come to the point that these things are free, but don't blame people like me who do not know how you guys work, and don't assume that because I'm an African person, I should understand and I should believe what Sangomas do. I do not. The more media shy you are, the more ignorant we become. And it doesn't mean that if you come to the podcast, we will not be able to engage. The thing that I don't understand, I will also ask you. The same way I do not understand a lot of things from Christianity, but Christians do come on the podcast and we discuss and we question each other. So I think let us agree that Maweni must be protected. She must be protected because she deserves a protection. Protection from yourselves and protection from all of us. Because she's doing what has no module, has no manual, it's not written anywhere. There's no Bible for a good Sangoma. There's no Bible of Sangomas to know what is a code of good practice. But if there is, I'm speaking under correction, if there is, please bring it. Please come to the podcast. Here's a chair, come and sit with Krotman, come and educate us. For as long as you have not done so, don't blame us for having these views that we have. Like now, I think there's no Bible, there's no manuscript that dictates how Sangomas should work. Well, there could be an association, but we don't know that association. There are a lot of Sangomas who practice voluntarily. There are a lot of abuse coming from gobelas. The money is that's a separate matter altogether. But all I'm saying is, Maweni represents you. Maweni is a traditional healer like you. Maweni is a Sangoma like you. What she says she does is what we believe you guys do. If Maweni deals with witchcraft and Sangoma say there's a difference between a Sangoma and a witch, who is a witch? Who is a witch? Because let's not run away from things. People know Sangomas to be witches. Come to the podcast, tell us who is a witch. Because people are saying Maweni is a witch. And I don't know any other, I don't know types of Sangomas. I only know them, Sangomas as all traditional healers. I don't know which amongst them bewitch people. People came to sit on that seat and they told us the horrible things that traditional healers do. If you don't want us to trust them, then give us a different narrative. If you don't give us a different narrative, this is the only one we have to carry on. But hey, I'll just leave it here. Maybe one day a Sangoma will come and educate us. But for as long as they do, Maweni is the one. She's the one. Thank you very much.
Mbao recently trended on social media for her Instagram stories throwing shade at Sangomas. The stories had captions such as, "You do not have a calling, it's anxiety. This is the most anxious generation. That's why we have so many Sangomas. Laugh it off, you aren't alone. Just get magnesium and a bit of sun, B12 and have CMOS. That's the only C you need. Anxiety is wild. You will hear drums, I swear," with laughing emojis. "I am not attacking you, just saving you money. Stop buying cows, chickens, and goats. Instead of buying melatonin to help you sleep and boost your serotonin so your mood is better. Magnesium tabs and lots of B12, you can be your own healer." Kanye was commenting on the fact that we have been seeing more and more people in our country claiming to have a spiritual calling and becoming Sangomas. One social media user even went as far as saying that most of the celebrity Sangomas we see are all scammers. That if you are a celebrity and you go to consult with a Sangoma, of course they will tell you you have a spiritual calling, so they can charge you ridiculous amounts and tell you that they need to take you through your initiation process so that they can keep making more money off you. One user commented, "Kanye Mbao is right. Most people don't have a calling. They are just suffering from anxiety and depression. Their marriages, romantic relationships, businesses, jobs, and etc. have failed. And now some fake gobelas are making tens of thousands off their misery. This scam must stop." Another user replied to this tweet with a comment saying, "It's okay, you don't have to explain further. Clearly you know everything. And anyway, you're the same guy that said you won't die for blacks. So it's cool, we get it as blacks." Another user tweeted, "It's saddening that Ugutwasa has been ridiculed. Yes, we we are too many, but trust me, no one would want this. No one in their right mind would want to leave their ordinary home to go and live in strangers' homes for months on end. Kanyumbao has no idea what we go through. Another user commented on the same tweet saying, I've always said this. These people just comment on something they have no idea of just for likes and vibes. Right now, we are in a spiritual war era. Lots of generations' curses need attention and people think it's for vibes. Another user commented, Kanyumbao aside for a few moments, Bahlali, we need to address these fake sangomas. Uma bengakwazi ukusiza, they just tell you to go twasa while you have no calling, and the greedy gobelas can see you have no calling, but they tell you to twasa because bafuna imali. Another user commented, worry not everyone is supposed to understand your calling. It wasn't a conference call. Dinewo Ranaka recently posted pictures of her in her Sangoma attire in Handumba on her Instagram with the caption, Umuntu ongagaze angene epehlweni will have a lot to say about what they don't know. Likewise, a person who has never walked a day in your shoes will have tons of advice on how you should tie your shoelaces. Live as you are guided. Do as you know is good for your soul. Thokozani modern sangomas, healers and those in the process of their own healing. Thokozani nonke with anxiety and lean to the calming cradle of spirituality for healing. Thokozani to those who mock what they cannot comprehend. Thokozani modern day uncertified psychologists that get a great portion of their teachings from TikTok. Hehehe. Yeah, ne? Thokozani nani Twitter psychologists and herbalists. Thokozani Nina that are fascinated, intrigued, and eager to understand and respect the journeys of others without judgment or disgust. May we all try to have less opinions over the fingerprints of others as they are all uniquely designed. The tongue has proven to be the downfall of many a man. Tamaku. Namaste. Amen. Some fans do agree with Kanyumbao on her remarks of people having mental issues which are misdiagnosed as a spiritual calling. Yet, some still strongly believe that we are going through a spiritual awakening era. Do you believe in ancestors and spiritual callings? And why do so many people have a spiritual calling all at the same time? It's your girl Charlie Hustle with your gossip guide for today on Click Media, South Africa's #1 digital marketing agency.